Guess who's back? And it's been like a super long time since I've made a vlog or anything, but I've had the craziest year ever. And I really haven't had time for this or for anything other than being healthy. So I would like to announce to everyone who doesn't know on the computer, which I think everyone does know, because I think most people who watch these follow me on some form of social media already, but I have had my lung transplant, my double lung transplant, and yesterday was the 6-month mark after, so it's been such a journey and a crazy year, and I would just like to say that this experience has been the best and worst and scariest and most relieving and most precious and also my least favorite gift I've ever been given. It's everything you can imagine rolled into one experience. It's every emotion you can fathom having just in one big, in two big organs being shoved into your body. So if you can imagine, it's been pretty wild, and I decided it was time to start telling my story and helping other people who are maybe going through transplant or have family members who are going through some sort of transplant. So I really hope this is helpful, and I'm going to get started with where my last vlog ended, which was a sad, crying, embarrassing display of emotion. But that was in May of 2013. After that, let's see, that was back whenever I got my peg tube and I made that whole video about it. During that stay, after those, I was put on oxygen. I started out on 2 liters, because I started retaining, carbon dioxide at that point. So, and quit breathing. So, I was put on oxygen. Well, I was kept in the hospital there for 4 months and was released finally in late May. Then I had 2 solid months of probably the most normal life I had had. The rest of 2013 for me is a big fat blur. I don't remember much of it, because I was in the hospital again in August and September, went home for about a week, and then started running fever and started not being able to breathe, and we went to the hospital on Halloween Day, and I was pretty much immediately put into ICU, but I was on a BiPAP 24/7. For those of you who don't know what that is a face mask like this that they strap around your entire head. You look like Bane from Batman, but you don't sound like him. No one can hear anything you say, actually. It gets really frustrating. But anyway, it's super uncomfortable, and it like suctions to your face. And so it's like hooked up to your oxygen, and it's supposed to, it like shoves the air down your throat and into your lungs. That's the step before ventilator time. And so my doctors she talked to my parents about I needed a ventilator. Well, we didn't want to do anything too intrusive, so we decided to try an external ventilator. And most people don't know what that is. It is the evolution of the iron lung. It is essentially an iron lung, but portable. You wear it. I don't know. it's like a turtle shell, a clear turtle shell. It comes from here to here. You strap it on. It goes also on your back. And by the way, it's really uncomfortable. It hurts like a B word because it completely suctions and pulls your rib cage away from your lungs to allow them to breathe. And I was on that 8 hours a day. Luckily, I didn't have to be on it full time, but my doctors weren't feeling like it was really helping. And I was in ICU, and I was retaining a lot of carbon dioxide. So I was swollen, I was huge, I was unconscious. I don't remember any of ICU really. So anyway, my parents had to have the discussion of what would they do with my body when I died, because the doctors really felt like I wasn't going to live. And if you can imagine, that was really traumatic for my whole family, particularly my mom and dad. But my mom, real strong with Christian faith, and she said, no, we're not going to plan this funeral. We're not going to give in to this. She is not going to die. This is just happening right now, and it's not permanent. And basically told the doctor she wasn't going to talk to them about that. She didn't want to hear it. Well, amazingly, my body stopped retaining carbon dioxide enough that I was able to go to a step-down unit, which is more like a regular hospital room environment, but you're on 24/7 monitors and nurses that are pretty much always there and are watching your every move. I started some physical therapy in the hospital, but it didn't help much because there's only so much you can do in a step-down unit in a patient who can't breathe on their own. Then, after 4 months in step-down, they moved us to our regular floor of the hospital, which is the pulmonary floor, where all the CF patients are, where I grew up, and I know all the nurses, and I've been to weddings and baby showers and all kinds of things because they basically raised me. So after that, I was able to go home, and 1 week later, I had to go back to the hospital. But I had just turned 22. I had my 22nd birthday there, and I was too old to go back to my regular hospital on the children's side where I knew everyone. I had to go to the adult side, which was the most horrifying transition of my life. Anyway, while I was there, I still wasn't doing well. Things were not getting better. And one day, I'd been there for 3 weeks, and my doctor comes in and he says, you know, Noelle, it's been weeks, and you've been in the hospital months, almost a year. And I think that right now your only option is transplant, and it's time to start looking at facilities. And we'll talk to insurance, and we'll find out what they'll pay for it, and we'll pick from those places, and basically this is your only option, because if you start retaining that CO2 again, you could go down so quickly that we couldn't save you. So that was exciting and also upsetting. Exciting because who wants lungs that feel like your rib cage is crashing in on them, and you really feel like if you could just open up your rib cage a little bit, expand that a little bit, then you could just breathe so much better and have so much less pain. I was by this point I was on so many different narcotics for pain. So I immediately knew I wanted to go to Duke University in North Carolina. I knew immediately that's what I wanted. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to look at any other brochures. I just knew. So we got everything set up. I went home for 1 week, and then I came to Durham, North Carolina, and I've been here. And I'm going to end this video here, and I'm going to do another video separately about actual transplant and post-transplant. I hope that this has been helpful for some people going through this, or have, like I said before, have family going through this. And I can't wait to see what you respond with and what you want to know about transplant, basically. If you have any questions for me, because I will answer anything. I'll link my Twitter and Instagram and Facebook in the description so that you can always check that out. And I'll see everybody in the next video. So thanks, guys. Bye.